What's up, guys? Belligerent here with another Bloodline video, and we got something a little different today. So shout out to Agar, who actually came up with this idea and is letting me tinker with his account a little bit. So what we're gonna do is he offered to let me come into his account and build up an off-meta champion just to test it out at kind of a more full-fledged, higher level type of gameplay, which I thought was a really cool idea. I told him I was up for it. So we're here in his account. We're going to take a look at what resources he has, decide which champion that we want to kind of build up. So what he did tell me is that I could basically do anything I wanted to his account, outside of destroying his already built up champions to get more vigor. Apparently he's watched my videos a few times. But he said, like, we can use his rings, his bouquets, whatever we need to do, his fodder. He did say, obviously I asked him a few questions, what he was into, stuff like that. He said he was more PVE focused, so he was always interested in different ways or better ways to do boss damage. Now, I don't know that anything will compete with the boss meta of female loom plus insert big DPS monster. I think like female loom plus male tide is probably the best boss comp. So I don't know that we can actually top that. But we're going to try to find something, again, that is off meta that can do some decent damage on some bosses. Well, we'll obviously also take it into like some PvP, maybe in the arena, maybe in like a Valley of Conquerors if he has that up and going. So, might be a series that we continue doing, but that would be dependent on you guys. So if you have an account that has a decent amount of resources that you don't mind me messing with, I figure in this scenario, like worst case scenario, he can just take the champion that I create and marry it onto somebody else and get the vigor. But let's take a look at what we're working with first. So if we go in here and we look at his resources, he has 261 rings. So an okay amount. We won't get a ton of vigor out of that. But we'll get some vigor out of that. 233 roses. Okay. And he has a boatload. What do we see? He has 63 2-star warrior tokens. So warriors, maybe we'll look at for like a warrior. 2-star tank. And some random 2-star champions. And then he has plenty of the energy potions there. So we can, we'll be able to at least make 200 vigor bots there for us. If we need to do that, let's see what kind of... All right, so he has who is this one linked to? He's got a link to the Tide, so the Tide is not on the main team, so to speak. Okay. He actually has a decent amount of starred champions there. So that's pretty good. What doesn't he have in here? Let's see. So these are all built up. We don't have to worry about a mage, marksman, mage, assassin, mage, marksman. We're already this far down, and so I'm not seeing any warriors. We did have some good warrior tokens back there. Like, we got to get all the way down here before he has any type of warrior that's semi-developed, and that's only 11-star. That's not gonna... He's not putting that with any of his current teams. All right. Well, I want to see, does he have... He does have... So here's an easy way to see what people have, actually. Let's go into the altar. And let's just look around here, because one of the easy things you can do is, like, I can click on her, and then we can see just how many of a certain champion he has. Okay. So we know we need, I think the number, I forget. I say we know, I forgot. I think it's like 62 to go from 0 to 15 star. I got 30, but nowhere near 62 on her. How about this guy? 15, 30, 45, 60. Holy cow. So we have plenty male Ugrulls, and it's still going home. Oh my god. All right, so let me see something. I thought I saw something, if I recall correctly. He has so much warrior fodder in this. Wow. I think we might be going with a warrior, guys. Look at all these 2 stars he has, plus all the 2-star tokens he had. Where'd it go? Hang on a second. Let's reset this real quick. Because I know I saw, hang on. I'm not tripping, am I? He did have, there it is. He has him locked. We'll have to unlock him, so it'll let us ascend him. But we might, I think we're going to probably go with, if not Ugrull, definitely a warrior is what it's looking like. I don't know. She has always intrigued me, just with that active that hits like a truck. But I don't think she has enough fodder. He has enough fodder, plus there's no mythic fodder, so we don't want to do that. I don't think, like, female Fulgar is not off meta enough in my mind to actually do something. And I'm trying to, like, I mean, he said he didn't care. I could do whatever I wanted, but I'm probably going to stay away from mages because it looks like he was developing quite a few of them. There's off meta. Let's build this Devala champion. See exactly what she can do. Holy cow, like, he has enough for probably a whole nother 15-star Devala there. Yeah, none of her, so that off meta is out of the question. None of him. So, like, we can see where the fodder is being used. Marks, holy. That is so weird right now. Oh, maybe because it's so weird that it has these up here. Maybe because it needs them, but usually, okay. He has plenty of those, but that's really all he has for marksman. It looks like, oh, maybe not. But I know clearly clearly he's trying to develop the gold tongue. So I don't really want to tinker around in the marksman stuff too much. Are there really off meta marksman her? But I just, like, he doesn't have any of her. Clearly she's being used as fodder. The clowns, I don't know. Like, the clowns, I guess I consider off meta right now because they just came out and I don't think anybody really knows. I think I haven't heard of anybody doing anything with them yet, to be honest. But I also think that is in part because they're just too risky with shooting your own team and stuff like that. It's a job for a content creator to do. And here's another off meta one that I was kind of thinking about, but yeah, I think we'll probably stay away from marksman. The off meta ones he's been using as fodder, clearly. And I don't know that we can really. Can we really do. I don't know that we can make a tank, even an off meta tank. I don't know that we could actually do anything good with. All right, so I think what we're going to do is. I think we're going to go with the male Ugrull. I think that is, and especially if you've watched my tier list videos, that's close to as off meta as I can get. There he is. So, yeah. All right, so I think we're gonna go with him. It's gonna take me a while to build this up. So with the magic of editing, it'll only take you a couple of seconds for me to get back to you. But we're going to go ahead and build this guy up and then talk about it and see what we can do with it. So hang with me. All right, welcome back. We have built our male Ugrull up to 15 stars. He doesn't have the 3D background yet, so you'll have to forgive this wonkiness. It doesn't show up right on the full screen like some of the other champions do. But yeah, we got him up to 15 stars. We were only able to get 45 vigor out of what we had. I did leave a few bouquets on his account in case he wanted to do something, and we wouldn't have got a whole lot higher. We might have pushed 50. We wouldn't have got a whole lot higher with what was left over. So he's leveled up to 700. So you see that we are looking at 35 mil constitution, almost 36 mil constitution. We're looking at 1.2 strength and 172k fortitude. Okay. So that's where we're at. Let's talk about the traits that I put on him. So fierce, brutal, agile, aggressive. The reason I went for that is because we're just twofold. Like, we're just going for damage on the bosses is kind of what this build is entailed. Because like I said, Agar said he was more interested in PvE rather than PvP. We'll take this into some PvP and see what we can get out of him anyway. But aggressive against like a raid boss is going to have plenty of time to stack itself up. Agile, obviously, attack speed. Then brutal and fierce, just putting out as much damage as we can. Also, no focus or anything like that, because I'm going to be... I'm assuming, like, I'm relying on this deals the true damage. So ignoring fortitude, equal to 612% of the caster's strength, and takes backfire damage equal to 30% of their strength. Okay, so this is the one that I believe is going to do the most damage. And so I don't want him or need him going into his ultimate necessarily, because his ultimate doesn't really do a lot for us. Becomes immune to crowd or to control effects and gains 10% lifesteal for every 10% of health lost. Lifesteal rate increases by 30% up to a maximum of 50%. Okay, and then this one, for every 5% health lost, the caster's attack speed is increased by 5% up to a maximum of 50%. So all we can really do now at this point is take it and see if we can make a non-meta champion work. So I'm going to jump over here into the raid bosses, and we're just going to use what he uses right now, which is a female lionstone, a male wide eye, double tide, and Trevane. So 3 DPS, 2 buffs, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to assume the 700 tide is going to put out the most damage, but let's see how it goes, and then we'll throw our comp in there and see if we can come close at all there. It's weird. It's kind of like pinball watching this comp, because male tide pulls them in, female tide pushes them away. But I mean, except for Lionstone, they're all ranged, so the push and pull aspect of the comp doesn't really hurt it. This is actually the first time I have seen a comp like this. The traditional boss comp is female loom, male tide, along with Lionstone, male white eye, and probably like a Yiv, some type of energy control. Although at the higher levels, I don't know that Yiv is really that necessary. You don't need to energy control these guys because they don't really hurt. At earlier levels on a player's account, Yiv is really good to run with the raid bosses because he shuts down their energy and then they essentially just kind of stand there the whole time. Maybe do some basic attacks. Okay, so we're coming up on 25 seconds left in this. I have no idea who is doing the most damage, but like I said, I would assume it's going to be tied. But we'll see when it comes out. It will be interesting to see all three of these side by side, but considering Tide is 700 and the other two are only in the 500s, I would assume that Tide is going to be putting out the most damage here. All right, let's take a look at the stats. And yeah, like I said, we had, what is that? That's one. So 1.6 bill damage, 1.64 bill damage from male Tide. So that's going to kind of be our target. Female Tide, not that big of a superstar in this one. Only 866 mil. Female Trevane hit 1.22 bill. So I wonder if we'll be able to get anywhere near that. I'm going to change up his comp just a bit. Because I actually want more buffs, and I forgot to prep this here. I know I did see one, however, in his champions. I wish he had one that was built a little bit higher, but I will still take it. Oh, she's already at that. I guess I could have ascended her a little bit there to get some more skills there, but I don't even need any of this leveled except for her ultimate. So let's level this up. There, it'll give us, it's a 168% buff. So not the greatest. If we're in the vicinity of what his other comp, of what his Tide was doing, then maybe I'll ascend that female loom a little bit for him, but we'll see how that works out there. All right, so we're going to remove them, put him in, and then we're going to put, where is she? Oh, power, let's do level here, see if she'll come up. There she is. Oh, wait, is that the wrong one? That's the wrong one. I just did a legendary one, didn't I? Right here. All right, let me go back real quick because apparently I missed the fact that he has a legendary one. Okay. And let's swap those books over. I'll reset her. And use her. I don't even think the level matters. We just need to make sure the skill level is up. All right, so this will give us a little bit more, 191 instead of 168. Again, if we get close with this, then maybe we'll try and push out more damage. But I also think like this comp would just do better damage. Like if he dropped the female Tide and put in female loom. Here we go. And then I don't even know who else to do here. Oh, let's throw him in there. He's got more buffs as well. Take him out, put him in. So there we go. We're getting 4 buffs and our guy there. So let's run this and see how it goes. I can tell nothing about the damage. Like the numbers are really small, so I don't know if this is gonna work at all. I'm gonna be interested to see. I might, I don't know, it's so tough. I might remove the loom and see how it goes without loom. I feel just like he's roaring too much. I don't think he gets the he gets the buff from her. See, but now he ults, and then she's charging him up again, and he ults again. Doesn't even have time to like really hit anything. But we'll see. I am excited to see. I have absolutely no idea if it's going to be any good or not. You would think it would be pretty solid with all these buffs, and if it's truly doing true damage. Like, that's the theory behind this, but this could be a completely failed theory. I don't know. We'll see. We've only got 20 seconds left. I think what's hurting him a lot is he's getting stunned by that Fulgur there. All right, let's see what his damage was. And the moment of truth, he didn't even really come close. Like, he was only half of what the Tide did. How can we change that? I feel like he got stunned a lot by the Fulgur. And I wonder if the Loom didn't end up hurting him. So we have one more attempt on this. All right, I want to try drop her. Who can we... Like, I don't think there are any more buffs that we can necessarily put out there. I honestly would love a way to get around his stun, because that felt like it hurt a lot. Let's just use him and see if we can't pin him against the wall or something, and give him another melee target. Let's try this. Let's see how this goes. But ultimately, like, I just, yeah, it was a good. I think it was good theory crafting. But I just don't think ultimately even true damage, if the basic attacks are going to be able to keep up with the big ultimate that Tide does, which is like 700% multiplier, I believe. But I'll be curious to see if we get closer, since he's not roaring quite as much. So far so good. Kind of like, he hasn't been getting stunned that I've seen. It looks like the lion has been getting stunned, which was kind of the point of throwing another melee in there. I almost wish there was a way I could turn his ultimate off so he just keeps attacking. But we'll see here. 10 minutes till the moment of truth. All right. I said 10 minutes. I did say 10 minutes. How about 10 seconds? It did increase his damage, not getting stunned. So yeah, but we still, like, we didn't beat the Tide. We didn't beat the, what was her name? Trevane. So, I mean, he did beat the female Tide. So, but I don't, like, he's 700, she's 500. So, guess it depends on how you want to look at it. Yeah, and she only has, it looks like, 20. Yeah, she only has 20 vigor. So, I mean, she should do less than him. But, I mean, ultimately, he's off meta pick for a reason. And that's kind of why, is that he's not the greatest, but we got him to actually kind of keep up at least. Now he wouldn't work in that same boss comp that we ran originally, just because with Tide pulling all over the place, like he wouldn't be able to keep up on the damage. All right, so we're gonna jump into this arena battle. We're probably, I'm gonna say, get fried. We do have higher might, but it is a 700 Deval and a 700 Bloodstorm. I don't necessarily expect this to work out very well, but let's just see how it goes. I'm curious if this guy can actually be useful. No, he's just getting annihilated. Oh, he just, I don't know if that was him that just wrecked her or somebody else. He's about to die from that. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Yeah, that was not pretty there. That was a bad comp for us anyway. Did he do? And he was bad in damage too. Like, well, at least what we're learning, everybody, is that I told you he's a bad champion for a reason. All right, well, I guess even when we try, at least when it comes to male Ugrull, we couldn't make it happen. So, unfortunately, we're going to get some of those results. So, if you're interested in doing something like this, or I'm even thinking about something like a help me get unstuck type thing, help me get past this, whether it's somebody in the arena that you can't beat, or especially if it's a place in the campaign, that's kind of more along the lines of what I'm thinking. But I can jump into an account, kind of theory craft some stuff up, or if you want to do one of these off meta champion videos, just if you're going to volunteer your account, just make sure you actually have resources for me to work with. Okay. And the only other qualifier I'll put on it is you got to have the quick marriage. I'm not marrying a bunch of vigor onto a champion the old school way. Like, you got to have quick marriage. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I'm Belligerent. Peace.